dressing room. There's something else you mentioned.
Yeah.
That's right. It has to do with alter ego. But you said we didn't need alter ego anymore. Makoto, there is the possibility that maybe she said something that was untrue.
違うわ。
I didn't say that we needed him. I just said he had done his job. Besides, it's not us that needs alter ego. He has business with us. Huh?
そう。
Alter ego asked me to bring others to come see him. Apparently, he has something he wants to ask us. Alter ego wants to ask us something? Okay, I don't think there's anything new. It's probably just gonna be like Kyoko and the computer. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of us left. I think there's, what, 7, including ourselves?
そう。
Okay, same dialogue. Seven of 15, yeah. It always is so weird in like death game series how the deaths suddenly kind of take you by surprise. You're like, oh, there's like 30 classmates in Battle Royale sort of thing, and then suddenly you're like, wait, what do you mean there's like 8 people left? And so slight spoiler for the Battle Royale book. When I was reading it, I was trying to keep like a mental tally of how many students were remaining. And at one point I was counting all the characters that I knew were still alive, and there was very few people left. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm off by 1. Who else is alive? Who is this person that's still here? And it turns out that there is a character who's not really in the movie who manages to like fly under the radar the entire time, and she's a little crazy. Like, she's had a bit of like a mental break, and she thinks she's like a magical girl. And yeah, she thinks that she can take on the biggest baddie of the class, and it does not go well for her. Hello. Oh, so it's just the two of you? Kyoko and Makoto? Kyoko's fingers glided across the keyboard. Is 2 not enough? Imagine, yeah. No, it's okay. 2 should be plenty. But what is it he wants to ask us?
Yeah.
Let's find out, shall we? And Kyoko typed in the question. What did you want to ask us? Oh, yeah. So, I'd like you to take me somewhere where you can connect me to the school network.
Eh?
What? Kyoko and I quickly glanced at each other. She replied, Why? Doshite? Why? Well, you said my job was done, right? But to just stop here, saying I finished my work, I don't want that. I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so that way we can all get out of here. That's what Master would want too. So, to help everyone else, to solve the mystery of the school. The only way I can help is if you connect me to the school's network. But if you did that, that's basically suicide. I'm positive the mastermind would find out about it. And then they'd find you and they'd... You agree, right, Kyoko? I mean, I feel like Kyoko is a little too practical to... Or pragmatic, I suppose I should say. To be like, no, you don't sacrifice yourself, computer program, you know? I realize how dangerous it could be. But still... I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true. So, it's okay. And if it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. As much as I like make fun of Hifumi and Taka for their interactions with alter ego and stuff like that, So I was a Star Trek The Next Generation girly when I was a kid, and I had the biggest crush on Data. Like, Data was my guy. I loved him. So I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't judge. I couldn't help but get lost in that voice. It was just too committed, too admirable, too fragile.
ね
You remember what you asked before, Makoto? You asked what the difference is between a person and a program, right? Yeah?
え確かに
When I talk to Alter Ego, I don't know. I have no idea how to answer that question. I think maybe that's a question that even the program's creator can't answer. But I can say this.
そう
There's no question that Alter Ego is our friend. Kyoko, you're about to get scammed by a chatbot.
私は
To be honest, I didn't want Alter Ego to push himself anymore. Because if we take any more risks, the mastermind will really notice it. But
苗木くん
let's do it, Makoto. Let's connect Alter Ego to the network. But
ね
he's our friend, so I want to take his feelings into consideration. And he says that he wants to fight alongside his friends.
えもし
If you were in his place, could you just sit by and do nothing in his situation? If you saw everyone else fighting and doing their best, could you just look the other way? Or would you stand up? Stand up tall next to everyone else and tell them that you're their friend. Alright, I'm currently entering my 326th Amazon gift card code now. God, sometimes I'm so scared that my parents are gonna fall victim to something like that. Like, I try whenever they say something that I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I'm like, let me show you some internet best practice here. But I am so scared that they're going to get fooled with the gift card scam or something. Thankfully, like, my brother still lives at home, so it's not one of those things where somebody's going to call up pretending to be their son. But especially, like, as streamers, it's a low chance, but there is always the chance that somebody is going to, like steal, like, record your voice, steal your voice sort of thing for something nefarious. And the chance of somebody actually doing that and targeting my parents is, like, nil, but I'm still worried. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do something at some point so that way my parents know, like, some sort of code word that if some woman calls up and is pretending to be their daughter, if she doesn't have this word, it's not me, and don't give them iTunes gift cards. God. The things you worry about as you get older and, like, your parents aren't as tech savvy. Hey, are you guys fighting? If it's about me, please don't. I want to believe in myself. I want to be able to say, I know I can do this. So please, let me try. Best thing you can do is say there's a code word, but there actually isn't one. Yeah, it's the whole thing with the Justice Hammer, right? It's like, but where is Justice Hammer? Like, or the release the pig in the school thing I was talking about last time. Where's pig number 3?
ね
And besides, there's one place where the mastermind might not notice. One place?
そうよ
Remember? There's another place besides here where there's no surveillance camera. I think that was the room off the supply closet in the boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor. Yeah, the secret room. That's it, the secret room you told me about. I definitely remember that there was no surveillance camera in there. And I do believe you can connect to the network from there. I remember seeing an Ethernet port on the wall.
だけど
However, just because there's no camera there doesn't mean there's no danger. I mean, we did get smacked in the head. You don't need to tell us that. There's no way to be sure that the mastermind isn't monitoring the network somehow. We'll also have to move Alter Ego, and the mastermind may spot us going into the secret room. If they pick up on any of this, then it's all over. You're right.
そうするべきよ
But despite all that, I still think we need to try.
そう
Because that's our best chance of finding any new clues. Kyoko. In that case, will you let me carry him? There's no way you could hide them with what you're wearing, right? So let me do it.
そうね。
Okay then. I'll leave it to you. Thank you. I mean, she's got a pretty big jacket on. I mean, it's not long, admittedly. Just tape that shit to your back.
じゃあ、
And then let's get started. It's gonna be a little cramped for you, alter ego. Now bear with us, okay? Thank you, Saribot. We started packing him up right away. I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. Yeah. That... okay. Alter ego cannot see who they're talking to. Like, he's made a couple comments about, like, is this Kyoto or Kyoko and Makoto? He cannot see. Why can he feel what is happening to the closed, I would assume, sleep mode laptop case? I don't like this. Shh, you can't talk right now. We're gonna move you to another room. Until we get there, you have to be absolutely silent, okay? Understood. Your command has been implemented. Put the ports away, Alter. Good. To have him react like a machine like that all of a sudden, I didn't know how to react.
苗木くん。
Honestly, not the weirdest thing I've seen a laptop do. That concerns me. In the secret room. Actually, speaking of things that, like, having feeling that you didn't suspect, I didn't realize for the longest time that turtles can, like, feel through their shell. I'm not sure if it's, like when you touch your fingernail or something, but apparently I've seen them, like, basically somebody scrubbing their shell with, like, a brush and then, like, rubbing against it sort of thing, like a cat when you're giving it scritches. So I was very, very surprised that they had feeling through their shells like that. In the secret room, there are a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers. So there might be a network cable in there, right?
でも、
Assuming the mastermind hasn't taken it already. Well, all we can do is go and check for ourselves.
そうね。
Agreed. Let's head to the secret room. Anybody chilling out here? Interesting. There are a couple people, if I choose to walk there, that I can go by. Hey, Craig, how's it going? Good morning. Or I should say good afternoon for you. Yeah, let's walk there, because it's kind of interesting that they're chilling out. They're over here. Okay, story time. One time I was playing Hades and decided to call it a night, so I closed the laptop. Somehow my laptop broke itself out of sleep mode at 3 a.m., and the first thing I heard was the ambient whispering from the house of Hades. Yeah, your laptop is haunted. I don't know how to break it to you other than that. Like, you have a ghost in your laptop. Ah, Makoto. What the? Why do you seem so surprised? Nothing's wrong. Why would anything be wrong? Ha 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 ha. He's acting really strange. You're very aware? Understood. One of my friends is very convinced that a piece of furniture that they picked up at I think like a yard sale or off the curb somewhere, or something like that, is haunted because after they brought it home, creepy shit kept happening. And I think a couple of dishes or whatever have just like yeeted themselves off this sideboard and broken. But it's also just fun to have, like, I think they named it the ghost Sheila or something like that. And every time something goes wrong, it's like, damn it, Sheila! Like, he's acting really strange. I guess he's always acting really strange. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to my room now. Take her easy, partner. See ya. Yeah, that is very strange. So Toko is somewhere out here as well. There she is. Do you know how horrifying it is to be disturbed from your sleep at 3 a.m. by whispering? I can only imagine. I would also say, Jill, why are you acting so weird? But that's pretty standard, Jill. My obsession. What are you doing? Living. I see. Anyway, I'm headed back to my room. I'll just be there living totally calm. That is, however, very suspicious. God, I kind of want to go into some of these rooms now and just double check that everything is okay on this floor. God damn it. Yeah, so I don't think it's worth it trying to go into any places because I think that we're just going to get the same message from Kyoko if we try to go into any of the classrooms or anything. So very, very suspicious from Taka, and like we'll try the gym here. Yeah, no. Very, very suspicious from Taka and Jill. Yeah, and then we're just going to the bathroom here, so we don't need to. I guess we could look to see if there's anybody else on the floor. No. Hey, Makoto. Are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What? Just hurry up and go. And make sure you don't run off. To make sure you don't run off, I'm gonna wait right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful, I thought I'd made her mad again somehow. What are you doing just standing there? Hurry up and go. Oh, okay. I'm going. And be thorough. I'm counting on you. I mean, there actually is some paper scattered around. Okay, first we need to find a network cable. I mean, even though there are papers scattered around, apparently they're not important enough to look at. There were so many documents here before, and now nothing. Who took them? And why? According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Found it. This is a network cable, right? Now we just have to connect Alter Ego. I immediately got to work. I pulled out the laptop and connected it to the Ethernet port with the cable. Those are the dud papers scattered in order to highlight the single page of important info, yeah. And that should do it. Yeah, I think it worked. Just leave the rest of it to me. I swear I'll find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I'll see if I can call for help. So please, just wait a little longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us, as friends. Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto. Hey, Garud, how's it going? Welcome in. How's life treating you lately? How'd it go? Well, it went okay, but all the documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings.
So.
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here. Goodbye. Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Kyoko?
Nani?
Yes? So we're just gonna split up?
なんで
Of course. I have no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe, but isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I just had more I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what are you going to do about Sakura?
そうね
Well, something has to be done, it's true. I have a feeling that we don't have to worry about what to do about Sakura. I have a feeling that Sakura is dead right now.
でも
But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. Then what should we...
それが
If we can find some new clue, that would likely change the situation. That's all we can hope for right now. Which is why alter ego.
そう
All we can do is wait and believe in our friends. You're right. That is our only option. Great, I'm just off work, off to do the shopping. No, I know, I like Sakura too, but I have a feeling. I feel my media sense is tingling where sometimes I can guess what's going to happen next because I watch too many things and remember too many plot lines. We parted ways and I headed back to my room. I'm kind of tired, so I laid down in bed, as you do. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving alter ego, but I was way more tired than I realized. So before long at all, I had completely dozed off. But yeah, I hope that you have a good luck shopping today, Gurud. I hope that you find everything that you're looking for and that the stores aren't too busy. Huh? Such a satisfying doorbell sound. The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world. Yep. I don't think there's any point in looking at anything in my room.
苗木くん
Makoto, get out here. Kyoko, what's going on?
ええ
Hina just came to see me, and she was as white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. It'll be grand, just need a few things for the weekend. Nice, nice. We might pick up... We have some errands to run after stream, and we might pick up just like a little shitty grocery store pizza, which will be a nice little treat. Yeah. I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Anybody else in the area that I need to talk to? No, just the two of them. Who do I talk to first? I suppose... I mean, Aoi is closer to me, so it seems like they want me to talk to her first. Makoto! Kyoko! Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door, and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair, like she's bowing her head.
ね
What's going on? Did something happen to her? I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do?
とにかく
But first of all, we need to get into that room. But the door is locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
いいわね
We're going to force our way in. I just said...
違うわ。
Ah, the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why?
どうやら
It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair.
つまり
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in.
ええ
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Who would take on Sakura, right? I have a theory that Sakura has been poisoned. And it's because with the new area that has been revealed after the last trial, there is a room that has like a bunch of different protein powders and supplements and vitamins and stuff like that, and also has poisons. So my theory is that she has been... I've been saying for like 2 streams now she's gonna get poisoned. Magi, are some of my fate antics rubbing off on you? I'm very good at predicting media. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure... Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. But that silence didn't last long. Here! I found a broom. In the classroom. Use it.
苗木くん
You can handle this, right, Makoto? Come on, please, hurry! Okay, you two. Stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could. Aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then... I thought so. Because, like, the chair being in front of the door and them having such a hard time pushing it, it's like, yes, maybe it's wedged beneath the knob, but they didn't even turn to look at it. They just pushed it and then walked in. This alarm would not be going off if 3 people were not here to see. Actually, no, I'm miscounting. Of course there's 3 of us. There's me, Kyoko, and Aoi. So never mind. That smirk, yeah. She was such a good character. Loved her backstory. She was so unique and different. I really liked her. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. Danganronpa. Huh?
Sakura-chan ga... Sakura-chan ga...
Sakura's dead?
死んじゃったの?
She's really dead? She was the only of us. I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? checking for a pulse or a reaction. I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And I... Why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. I mean, that's what time will do, right? And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Ogre? Oh, so she's dead, huh? I'm like, you guys can't be a little bit nicer? You couldn't be a little nicer to Principal Skinner? Like, why are you... She just died. She's right there. Hey, Bumblum, how's it going? Welcome in. You're just in time for the latest body to have been revealed. Sakura's been killed? I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began. You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say? No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura. You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything. Isn't this like the third time that you've like run off just like accusing people? Wow, you're just gonna call her a body, right? Because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One if you did it. I know it. Yeah, the Yurasenai. Like, I won't forgive you. Yurasenai. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad. Okay, you be a little like, you were talking to me. How dare? How dare? What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right, it's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're going to ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and then... And then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. Saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. I mean, why weren't you able to punish her, though? It's not like Junko, by, like, benefit of not being muscly, was easier to stab with a bunch of, like, spears, right? So I don't know who it was, but whoever the Blackened is this time, I owe you one. What do you mean you don't know who it was? You knew who it was every other trial. I mean, maybe he just needs to review the camera footage still. You owe them one? Oopsie. Before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind, after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. Yeah, exactly. Every person there has a motive to hurt her. You know, obviously we know it's not Makoto because we are that character. And with seeing his internal thoughts kind of thing, even if there was the possibility, I wouldn't really believe that it would have been him. But yeah, everyone else, the fact that she was a spy, anyone could have decided that that was a reasonable choice to make, that they couldn't trust her anymore. How do you know? I would be so shocked. Like, it would be a fantastic development. Have you had your eyes on Makoto's hands the whole time? It would be a fantastic development in one of these games if it turned out in, like, the last trial that you actually did do one of the killings and us as the player don't know. That would be kind of crazy. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura. Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. That happened in one of your favorite murder mystery novels of all time. That, yeah, I played a game of werewolf mafia, like that style of game. And the guy who was running it actually kind of changed all the cards to be Batman themed. And so instead of it being like the vigilante, the you know, all of that sort of stuff, it was like, it was Oracle, it was whatever. And the Joker was supposedly going around and killing people, and we had to figure out who it was. I believe that the vigilante card was Batman. And you know, we were trying to stop the Joker from continuing to kill. And the twist in it was basically that no one actually was the Joker. Batman was just kind of on a bit of a rampage. So it was a very fun game. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you. Me. You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. God, I want to punch him in the face. I want to punch him in the face. I don't care if he is technically a child. Punched in the face. An order?
Eva.
Fine. I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
Nanda.
Which is... These hands are rated E for everyone. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. I love the right in front of your eyes stuff, yeah. So I'm a big horror aficionado too, and my favorite type of horror, I have a hard time like describing, but it is that crystalline moment of realization when something that you thought you realize was wrong. And I realized that that crystalline moment is really adrenaline, like, flooding your system. But, like, for example, when a character is, like, walking through a kitchen and the camera is, like, panning after them and there's a glass on the counter and then they turn around and walk back and the glass is gone. Or there's, like, a whole bunch of deer in the background and they've been there for, like, the entire time in this scene, and then one of them in the background you notice just get up on its hind legs and walk away. Like, that sort of stuff where something that you took for granted being the way it is not the way it is. That's my favorite kind of horror. Did I tell you about the Mafia girl in the Danganronpa RP I played? Because I did a lot of right in front of your eyes stuff. No, you didn't. That sounds very fun, though. What? Yeah, the background stuff. There is also a really good, there's a YouTube channel called, like, Spikima, it's Spikima, and he does deep dives into horror stuff, and he has a video called Blink and You'll Miss It Horror, and that was really good. There was some really interesting stuff in that one. One of you killed Sakura! I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her. Don't be stupid. Our lives are in as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. It Follows had me watching the background all the time. Yeah, that's one that gets so good on the rewatch too, when you start, like, looking into it. The trivia for that movie is also very interesting. There was a couple times that people were being mimicked that I didn't pick up on who it was, and so I kind of missed. Oh, Garode, thank you so much for the sub. Well, resub, I should say. Thank you. But yeah, It Follows was a fantastic movie. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears that further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let us all in. Just let me in. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. I mean, it's true, Byakuya, but it's mean to say it like that. So our Danganronpa RP group had a game runner, and killers would message the game runner to set up a murder. So you could also DM them for secret actions. So very much like Mafia or Werewolf or something like that. There actually is or at least there used to be, I don't know if they're still playing, but there was a wonderful Mafia group on Twitch where they would be playing it and sending their actions to the moderator and that sort of thing. They're so good at it too. Like, when I play that game, people are like, "You're the murderer," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." Okay, it's time for, like, voting. Like, we're not, at least I'm not very good at, like, supporting myself with it or accusing people. But the Mafia group was fantastic with, like, diving into it and the logic they were using. My girl's whole premise was information is the greatest weapon. Choose who gets what info and misinfo. Ooh. That's very dangerous for other people. Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro? Do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? I mean, you were acting really shady earlier. Then it's decided. No, nothing's decided. I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But we have to find out who killed Sakura. For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally. Who would want to touch a filthy dead body? Thank you, Byakuya, actually, for being very general with that and not being a jackass. More like, I feel like that's the least amount of jackass he could be. Yeah, the killer would DM the game runner, and then the game runner would bring the chosen victim in, and the three of them would plan the murder/investigation. Very interesting. Yeah. I know that there's like a TV show called, I think it's called The Traitors, that seems to kind of fall into that genre of game as well. I watched the first episode of the British version, but I need to sit down and, well, maybe even just part of the first episode, but I need to sit down and watch more of it. I'll have a sip of tea. Your best friend and you love Traitors? I do need to give it a better shot. My husband wasn't like super into it, but I feel like it would be a really good background show for me. I'm not sure how much attention I need to pay, because with it being a reality show, I have a feeling that there's going to be like lots of like camera confessionals and that sort of thing. If it was a drama, I know that I would have to pay more attention because plot, you know? That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer, all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The fun part was that I had no better info than anyone else. Also, I was planning a long con and my character could die at any time. I had to personally manipulate people on 2 levels, the player and the character. Yeah, sometimes getting that kind of metagame in for when you're playing with friends is super, super necessary. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death was estimated to be around noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. That's interesting. Still, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the mode of death, just that she was hit in the head. I still am banking on poison. There we go. However, it seems at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Monokuma file number 4 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why's that? The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out until we broke the window. There's like 0 escape, right? I mean, there is ways to do it. For example, when I lived with my crazy roommate previously, the door on my room did not latch properly. It didn't like lock at all, but if you just touched it, the door would swing open. And she had cats that I did not want in my room. So the cats figured out that they could like bump the door and like push their way into my room. So what I ended up having to do was I think I got like a barbell weight from my dad and looped a piece of like plastic string through the center hole and around it. And I'd have to pull that string out kind of under the door and use that string to like pull the weight up against the door. So that way it was light enough that I could just push the door open when I got home, but it was heavy enough that the cats weren't able to push it open. So something like that could easily have been done in order to pull the chair up against the door to make it look like someone... It really, I guess, depends on if it was wedged under the doorknob or not, or if it was just flush against the door. So my character picked out who she identified as the dumbest person in the group, the ultimate prince. I passed anonymous messages to his player, giving him good intel to convince him that the writer was trustworthy. Yeah, you always, it's like, you know, 2 parts truth, 1 part lie in order to get people to believe that. I told him that they were in contact with his people who were trying to get him out. She had no idea it was me the whole time. Interesting. There's like 0 escape, right? In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing in a lot of murder mysteries, mystery novels, or movies, or books, or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Ne.
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
いいわ。
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. It simply means that the killer commits the crime and then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string, like I mentioned with the weight, or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for all that, all we'd have to do is, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
So.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh.
つまり
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. The messages eventually said, we just need the door to open for a moment and we can mount a rescue, so someone needs to win. We don't want our prince to have blood on his hands, so help someone commit a murder. And I know someone with a history that would suggest that she's capable. I tricked a player into having her character ask my character if he could help her commit a murder, so I was pleased with myself. Very nice, very nice. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
だけど
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, but if she was poisoned, she had a delayed action mode of death happening to her.
そうね
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
つまり
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. I tend to see that one a lot. Like, a lot. It's also one of my favorite aspects of the movie Clue, which is a fantastic fucking movie, is just keeping an eye in the background on who is present in each room. Then they pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
そうね
I don't feel like that is possible for this one, though. At least not with the setup that we've seen, because the body, when we discovered it, Aoi, Kyoko, and I were together. Admittedly, if there was another person in the room, that wouldn't have really mattered because it's 3 or more people to trigger the discovery of a body. Although I'm kind of surprised it didn't trigger just from seeing her through the window from the hallway. But Aoi had to go to get Toko, Byakuya, and what's his face? Yasugire. So, like, she left the room. It's not like somebody, like, suddenly appeared at the back of the pack. She had to leave to go and find them. So I don't feel that that's applicable for this one. But the fun twist came when my character wavered. He panicked and killed 2 people. During the trial, she analyzed the final piece of evidence, 100% convinced it wasn't him. He was 100% convinced that she would cover for him. The whiplash for both of them. Oof. Yeah, that definitely seems like an aw shit moment. And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room. By that, I mean there was actually an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
Eh.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
そうね。
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Okay. So we are going to look at everything but the body, and then we are going to talk to everyone, and then we are going to look at the body. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
それは
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
違うの。
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
ちょっと。
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
ね
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be part of the window that I broke to get inside.
え。そう。
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter? Makoto, use your fucking brain. Obviously, it had to be on the ground before the can was put there then. And the final bit of fun, my girl had pivoted to a good guy. Monokuma allowed her to have a trial without a body. She sat in Monokuma's chair and confessed to everything, letting everyone vote on what should happen to her. Her girlfriend, who felt betrayed, was the next to last to vote. She voted for her to live, but said, "Let me be clear, I'm only voting this way to let the prince's boyfriend have the last vote he deserves to decide." Everyone was crying and voice chat. Man, that sounds like such a dramatic good game.
それは
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue. I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink has been added to the truth bullets. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think that the chair had anything special done to it. Okay. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon. So, roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? Trial 3.5 was my favorite Danganronpa moment in all of Danganronpa history. Really? Sorry, I got a cough. 1 second. Okay. Interesting. There's some blood on the floor. Oh, they did mention that she had been vomiting blood. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? That same shelf full of magazines. They're all different kinds of magazines here. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. Aw, man. We got chess pieces. It's time for a locked door that we need to use the chess plugs to get through. Suddenly we're in Resident Evil. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
それは
It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
つまり
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. I'm assuming that which chess pieces they are is important, and it also seems important to me that there's like gaps between them. A whole trial of, this girl said she was our friend, but she did all this awful shit right in front of us. She manipulated us, and now she wants to say she's our friend again. Anyway, Sakura's murder. Okay, blood on the floor. Oh no, it's glass. Oh, possibly from the extra red bottles there. There are shards of glass scattered around the chair Sakura was sitting on. Kumato or Makoto trying to pick a lock with a rook. Yeah, I can see him trying that. I have picked a lock with a hairband before. I had a little like piggy bank type thing that had a tiny little padlock on it, and I lost the key for it. And I had a metal hairband with like a thin enough end, and it was firm enough that I could put it in there. And so it eventually got to be that the only way I could open this was by picking the lock. Thankfully, it was, like I said, basically a child's toy, so it was not a particularly difficult one to pick. My granny used to have those ship in a bottle things. I thought it was so cool. As a kid, I thought I didn't see the appeal, but as an adult, I definitely do. Especially because one of my like guilty YouTube pleasures is watching like people build miniature diorama stuff. I would love to get at some point one of the like there's a site that I like that has a whole bunch of like gachapon kind of figures and cute like blind box stuff, and they've started carrying some like little diorama things and like what are they called? The book nooks, like those. And there's a couple that I have my eye on that I would love to get. One of them is like an old-fashioned train with like cherry blossoms and stuff in Japan. And there's another one I really like that's a little tea shop. You know those ships in a bottle? These are just like that. Okay, genius. How do they build the Monokuma inside the bottle? I'm assuming that they're insinuating that it's multiple smaller pieces and they've used tweezers or whatever to put them together. Yeah, now I'm an adult. I want to build a Metal Gear model. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see things that I thought were kind of lame when I was a kid that now I just fucking love them. I had a friend at one point who he was moving out of his parents' place, and like this is a while ago, and he was talking about how excited he was to go shopping for area rugs. And he's like, and that's how I know that I'm old now. I'm excited about furniture shopping and picking out a rug. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must originally have been a bottle. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. Yeah. It doesn't really look like it's multiple pieces, but I'm guessing that has to be the insinuation. Either that or... Do you remember... I don't know if any of you guys have ever played with these when you were kids or whatever. The little foam pills that you soak in water and then the outer like casing on the pill dissolves, and it's actually like a sponge inside that inflates with the water and becomes like a dinosaur or something like that. That's really the only other explanation I could think of, and that definitely does not look like foam. It's a Monokuma figure. A figure on the floor has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle's sitting on the shelf. Okay, so we have a pawn, a rook, a bishop. We have the knight that we just picked up. Is that the king or the queen? I sometimes have a hard time recognizing them if I don't have both. But I would say that is that the only piece that we're missing? The king and or queen? Yeah, or like a face cloth. That's true. That's true. They do those ones too. You think the queen is missing? Yeah. I feel like it has to be that, provided that that is the king. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The shards of red glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? Shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. And then we have this on the floor. That looks like some kind of wrapper. That's... Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah. I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. That's me, like 100%. If somebody is upset near me, I have the urge to feed them to make them happier. And sometimes that ends up being a, would you like a piece of candy, because that is the only thing I have in my purse. I had a friend who was very upset because, God, I think they'd just seen like an accident or something. We were at a convention and I did not know how to make them feel better, and I ended up just offering them some Tic Tacs. And they were like looking at me like, why the fuck are you giving me Tic Tacs right now? And it did end up making them feel a bit better, I think, from the sheer absurdity of it. Posted the art I commissioned for my character in memes, videos, and Pixam. Oh, thank you. I'll take a look at it after stream. I'm very excited to see that. Food does a lot to help calm people down, 100%. And I feel like it's just a good way of showing that you care, as long as people understand the intention behind it. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. There was a girl in high school who would offer me Reese's when I was going through it. That's so sweet. Yeah. A little sweet to distract and calm down. Yeah, 100%. It's, I'm like, damn, I need some more purse candies just in case something goes wrong with somebody at some point. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. Do you really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, nothing with a dartboard in the background there, just the locker left. Huh? The locker's open. And on the inside, it's a handprint? What's a handprint doing here? It looks like somebody touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in the dust. And it looks quite fresh, too. You don't want to get up to get ready for work? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. It sucks, but at least it's Friday, right? I'm assuming you don't have to work on the weekend. You know, you gotta make those dollars. That looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then... Maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
違うわ
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
ね
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
ええ
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? The interesting thing is that I actually remembered something about someone being in the locker, and I thought it had to do with the previous trial. Locker handprint has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Okay, so we've looked at everything other than the body and talking to people. So let's talk to people.
なんなの
We already know who did it.
許せない
Yakya, Toko, or Hiro. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She'd asked them to meet her in her rec room, or in the rec room by noon. Oh yeah, I love gambling as much as you, but I'm not risking my life on a 33%. Exactly. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. I feel like the candy is important here. You know, like... I wonder if... God, I wonder if like an allergic reaction could even be counted as murder by this. Like, if there was something in the candy that either Sakura was allergic to, or if it mixed badly with the something else that she had had, like the protein drink. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Okay, Ali's account has been added. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. That could also end up being why Hiro and Toko were acting so shifty, because they had just talked to her. And maybe... I don't know, like, if maybe she... I could see, like, if she had threatened Hiro, that he would react like that, but I don't see, like, her threatening Toko and getting that kind of reaction out of her. I don't know, this seems like a self-situation, you know? Yeah, like, this is interesting.
Demo.
Oh, you mean like a self-report? But for Sakura to have been killed... Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
そうね
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. Might just be on the brain since a friend of mine took themselves out yesterday, apparently. Oh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm calling Sakura took out Sakura. Yeah, it... Definitely... I've seen other death games where there was something like that. And, you know, it throws people for a loop because they're expecting to find, like, a victim and a perpetrator. And when it doesn't fit that pattern, people just don't think of it. Yeah. There was a really, really good one that I managed to figure out, but I don't want to say what it's in because I don't want to spoil it for people because it's one of my favorite. How was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? I mean, they must have taken her by surprise, right?
確かに
Certainly they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. So, Byakuya, what'd you talk about? What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So, Byakuya being, like, the ultimate nepo baby and being such a jackass, like, for some reason, it's actually today really making me want to rewatch Hanayori Dango, which is a Japanese, well, there's like a manga, but the live action is what I'm so fond of. And it's about a bunch of rich boys in a rich boy school and a girl who gets a scholarship, and she's very poor, and she goes there, and they decide to make her life a living hell. And it is, of course, a romantic drama, and the leader of the rich boys ends up falling in love with her, and then assorted different problems. But I'm like, if somebody's going to be like a rich, oblivious asshole, I'd much rather it be Matsumoto Jun, one of my favorite Japanese actors, because he is a dork and an idiot, and I love him. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Yeah, like, if this is bugging you to be here, Ghost Body, like, I appreciate it, but you take care of yourself, okay? Let us know if there's anything. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go to see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Oi.
If you're all finished, please remove yourselves from my sight. Okay, thanks. Okay, Byakuya's account has been added, so the only thing remaining is to actually investigate Sakura's body. Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head that Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she also had vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips, to be sure. Yeah, you're... okay. Gotcha. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. The status of Sakura's body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I feel like movies and Hollywood have done us such a disservice, because my first reaction here is like, getting hit in the head with a bottle isn't gonna kill you. Like, that's fine, you kind of stagger a little bit and maybe someone can get the jump on you, but you're fine. But no, you're not. Like, getting hit in the head with a glass bottle can absolutely fucking kill you. We just see so often in movies, in professional wrestling, you know, stuff like that, where it does literally nothing, and that's because it's sugar glass. You know, like, it's just one of those things where, like, I'm as guilty of it as anyone else, but you tend to think that, like, getting punched in the head isn't that big of a deal because you see people get punched in the head so much in movies and stuff, but no, that can fuck you up forever. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. But Byakuya. However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting. Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely had to be connected to why she died. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. I do wish that these circles like stayed up until you press the button to dismiss them. Yeah, that's everything other than the door itself. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from inside, not from outside.
Ne.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, but for the most part.
じゃあ
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
いいわね
Which is why I've decided that you'll go in my place. She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Those 2 other people probably went back to their rooms. Oh, thank you for teleporting me. Highly appreciated. Okay, so they're not shown, but we'll just go and look. We'll talk to Toko first, I guess. I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
何誰
Who's there? Oh, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
何何なの
Well, what do you want?
深川さんに戻ってたんだねジェノサイダーじゃなくて
Ah, so you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
あいつの話しないでよ気分が悪くなるじゃない
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach.
せっかく楽しい気分なのに
I was in such a good mood, too. She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
あのさ、ちょっと話があるんだけど、今いいかな
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time? Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall. That's a choice of words.
なんの用よ
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
それは
Say her name and she will sneeze. I believe in genocide. Clap, clap, yeah. It, definitely is an interesting wrench in the plot of this game. I also wonder, like, you might remember a couple of trials ago, there was that kind of like cutscene with the mastermind where he mentioned the 16th student. And I'm like, was that Genocide Jack, or like has that just not been readdressed and we just have kind of forgotten about it? I don't know what you're talking about. But Yakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said two, didn't I? I guess it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit, I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. I don't believe you. Jack went in your place. Or a slip of the tongue. Toko claims she didn't go to see her, but can I really believe her? She has a crush on him, and they have a dynamic. There is also, again, some like weirdness going on when it comes to vocabulary too, because for example, I believe she's using the same word that Alter Ego uses to refer to Chihiro. Gochujin-sama, I believe is it. And it's the same word that if you went to a maid cafe that they would refer to you by. So it doesn't necessarily have the same sort of connotation that it would in English. But it is still just fucking weird. Both Toko and Jill have a thing for Byakuya, but he wants nothing to do with either of them. I mean, I don't necessarily believe that he wants nothing to do with either of them, but I think that the thing that he wants to do with them is less romantic and more manipulation. Can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. So, with that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Okay, Toko's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section. And then Hiro's room is back here somewhere, right? I think it's around the corner. Leon... Ah, here it is. Yasuhiro. I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds... What's up, Makoto? Do you need something? Again, I feel like I'm doing this mechanic slightly wrong because I always end up pressing Y and going with the first conversational path, but I'm not sure if I should be trying to go further to see if there's a different conversational path. Or maybe I'll try talking to them both again after we talk here. Yeah, actually. I just wanted to check on something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How did you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Obviously, when he talked to her. Oh, well... When she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. Hiro, you are so bad at this. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura. No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious. The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note that she gave you? Yeah, like not... And it's not even that they're denying that she gave them notes, but they're all denying seeing her. Which, admittedly, I guess, you know, they don't want to... Nobody wants to be the last person to have seen her alive. But still, you know... It's one of those things, yet again, where I'm like, you fucking 16-year-old idiots. Yes, obviously you don't want to be falsely accused, you don't want to end up being killed for no reason, but if you are hiding information and you are not the guilty party, then you are making it easier for everyone to fucking die. Oh, do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Mama.
Ah, sorry. It looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pocket. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Don't make a big deal about it, Makoto. Don't look at it, just ignore it. And hopefully he won't notice it and you can pick it up when he goes back into his room. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Interesting. Huh? Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Mama.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. That's worth screaming over, right? Trash. Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that it was just trash, but there's no way that that's all there was to it. Pocket trash. Sha. Like, pocket sand will never stop being funny. Dude hates littering. True. I could see that being part of his character. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can that we found on the floor in the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So, where should I start? Let's start with the chem lab. Basically, the guidance we've gotten is the chem lab and look at the crime scene again. Just taking a quick peek to see if there's anybody on the map. Okay, rec room. And the chem lab. Okay, let's just teleport. There's no reason to walk there.
Nanda.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure that you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes, sir, I understand. God, I'm not usually a bully, but I just want to grab him in a headlock, drag him to the bathroom, and stick his head in the toilet. Like, he is such a shit. Surveillance camera. Still don't think I'll ever get used to. Okay, it's just the same dialogue. I would have repeated, yeah, I got it, just to piss him off, yeah. Or go into like a full military, like, sir, yes, sir, sort of thing. A singular shit, yeah. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. Well, somebody has obviously stepped in it, and those are some really weird marks right here. Like these are footprints. What the fuck is this? Okay, I guess we'll start from A. It's interesting that the top and the bottom are not separate things to interact with. Let's see. What's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. Interesting. With the Chem A1, Chem C9, Chem A2, that sort of thing. What? Yeah, true, admittedly. Definitely, being a corporate bitch myself, everybody uses backpacks. It's just so much easier when you're running from like train to subway and like, you know, up and down the street and stuff. Backpacks all the way. Not even like a messenger style bag. give me a fucking backpack. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number, except for the Chem C9. So I guess we can consider this part of the shelving unit, section A. Ooh, I'm betting that Chem C9 right now actually contains Chem A something, and the bottle was swapped. That Chem C9 was put into the other bottle. Huh? But wait. There's one bottle that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. Well, I mean, you didn't know what the other ones were either. They're reagents. Simply put, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
Nanda.
What, you think that studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser. Which, I suppose, suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving section unit, or unit section B. You know, also the label on the outside helps with that. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. Before we look at C, I actually want to take a look at... where is the empty... Okay, Chem A2. I was wondering if it was like Chem A9 and it switched from C9 to A9 sort of thing. But no match when it comes to the number. Cute girl at my office said she was going to see Sinner. Oh, I cannot wait to... Well, I really want to see that, but again, with my financial situation right now, I'm not spending money on movies, but... Ooh, I want to see that movie. For the second time last night. I said I wanted to see it, and she said we should go see it this weekend, so that's nice. She's down to watch it a third time to watch it with me. No, that's lovely. I hope that you guys have a good time. But fuck, that movie looks good. One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section C. I should try to find out more about the shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. Admittedly, if somebody took the poison from Section C, swapped the contents with the protein powder, and then put the bottle back in Section A instead of Section C, like, you're bad at this. You shouldn't kill people. You're terrible at this. Chem Lab shelf has been added to the Truth Bullet section. I mean, admittedly, I suppose you want an incompetent murderer, right? It really is Vegeta armor, right? Okay, we'll do the stain, like the spill in general, and then we'll see if there's separate interactions for the footprints. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered across the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. Oh, oh, that's what that is. Okay. I couldn't tell. I thought it was like, again, some sort of print. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the chemical or the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled. That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, then it must be related to the case somehow. What's beautiful about that is that it isn't just a nerd thing, it's a thematic nerd thing, and that's what he was aiming for, which makes it even more nerdy. Right? Right? It must be related to the case somehow. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? So how kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Double checking that I made... Yes, I did turn back to the right scene. Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me? So when you look at it like this, interesting. You know, Byakuya, if you see something else other than this, it literally would not kill you to volunteer that information instead of being a jerk and holding it close to the chest when literally all of our lives are on the line. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, they went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. Yeah, well, yokai don't compared with religious trauma. True. I mean, I guess it depends. I'm assuming that if I had grown up in Japan and that was part of my culture, there may be some trauma or creepiness associated with them where I'd be like, oh no, we're not gonna talk about this yokai because it might come for us, sort of thing. But I just love them. I love really any spooky thing, mythology, like that sort of thing is great. That's what the footprints tell me. These footprints must be... Keep in mind, this is some people's favorite character, Byakuya. We're not going to talk about this yokai because the neck might get long. Yeah, true. Like, there's got to be a reason why so many people like Byakuya, right? Because to me, he seems completely irredeemable currently. Like, I pick... Like, currently, the only reason I can imagine somebody liking Byakuya is because deep in their hearts, they're Toko, if you get my drift. But there has to be redeeming characteristics to him. These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No. Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. What, you're not cool with tampering with a crime scene for no good reason? Generally not. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit that these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. I mean, also, don't we still have that camera that was used in the previous trial? I really feel like this is the sort of thing that you should be snapping a picture of before somebody, oops, accidentally fucks up these footprints. You know, if nothing else, take a picture of it with Makoto's like shoe beside it, so that way you have a reference in case they get fucked up. So that way then instead of going off of the footprint, you can go off of Makoto's footprint size. I don't know, homie, we're quickly running out of time to have him show a redeeming quality. Yeah. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle is labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Footprints of the powder has been added to the truth bulletin. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Oh yeah, Byakuya isn't even here for me to talk to. Ah, he's on this screen. I guess there's nothing else for me to interact with in here. We'll talk to the TV just in case there's a Monokuma coin. No. Byakuya, you have anything else to say? Makoto, I'll admit, you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues. I mean, like, I literally solved everything in this game. Literally. Honestly, I suppose I should have talked to Toko and Yasuhiro more. Yeah, let's head back down, actually. We'll just do a quick little teleport. Yes, here. We're gonna do a quick little teleport, see if we can talk to them again, just to double check if there was another dialogue option. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it. I just get really paranoid that I'm doing the purple dialogue wrong. One day I'll figure out what button does what. We're supposed to go and take a look at the crime scene. So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko and Toko what Hiro had told me. I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go to see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying. Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look at them over one more time. What was it? The magazines, her body, and the bottles? Okay, so not that specifically, the magazine rack itself. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue... Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident? If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message? And then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this? It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message. But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Oh, you're just so willing to jump to conclusions constantly. Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Magazine dying message has been added. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new. Something new. So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all of the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation. I don't know if it has to do with, like, again, I'm not a chess person, so I don't know if the pieces are worth a certain amount of points or value or anything. And so it's show it, because pawns obviously are shitty, like they're pawns. And then we have the king on the end there. So I don't know if maybe it's increasing in like a set of importance, or they are? Okay. Yeah, because when it comes to like a rook and a knight and a bishop and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't know, I just do the one that will hopefully let me not die immediately. The pieces are actually measured by how many pawns they're worth. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. A correlation. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is? I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusions isn't a good idea. If I remember correctly, rooks and knights are 3, bishops are 5, and queens are 9. Oh, interesting. Yeah, every now and then I'll watch, like, people play chess on YouTube or Twitch, but just because I sometimes enjoy watching people be very, very good at something, I cannot follow at all. I shouldn't say I can't follow. Like, I can follow what they're doing, obviously, but I would never be able to... I'm shit at chess. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have the confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer! I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Pawns are obviously worth 1, and the king is the centerpiece and therefore can't be measured to that scale. Yeah. Because it's not like you're going to sacrifice your king for anything, right? Only to a degree. Monokuma bottle has been updated. Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's been bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment? Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces, too. Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that? I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so... Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all of the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. Yeah, she gets it. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting the broken bottle pieces. She trying to see if there's a shard of glass missing? And just as I finished up... sorry to keep you waiting. Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing? I got a scale from the chem lab, and we're going to use it to compare weight. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass that you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact, yeah. Because that's the easiest way to tell if there's a large piece of glass missing, right? Although first, I feel like you should be weighing all of the intact bottles, because we don't know if the Monokuma figures have different weights themselves. Pawn is 1, knight and bishop are 3, rook is 5, and queen is 9. Interesting. I imagine it's like rook has to be worth more because the straight is a little bit less like more useful than the diagonal of the bishop, right? Like I'm kind of surprised that knight and bishop are the same. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done. Okay, thank you, Kyoko. I so appreciate the fact that you are getting a I can't remember the word, but like a reference point. Because rook plus queen is the most common way to win. I have seen that quite a bit, yeah. It's balanced, which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. I mean, personally, I would prefer if you weighed all of the Monokuma bottles, just to be sure, rather than it could just be that these two weigh the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight. Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I might have missed some here and there. Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier. How is that possible? Just as I thought. What? The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. I'll put it all together. I believe you'll arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So what do you think? It's all on you. I'm assuming that, like, it looks like there's 2 bottles missing there, honestly. So is that the glass, like, is the glass more than 1 bottle's worth of glass? And nothing else can affect the weight. Never heard of heavy gases, Kyoko. And it could be that, like, the Monokuma figure could be made out of something different, right? Okay, who's the ultimate here? What situation? Like, what? Sorry, what are you referring to? A rook can reach any square on the board, but a bishop stays on one color, so it can only... Oh, that's true, that's true. Okay, yeah, there's one that's on black and one that's on white. If I remember correctly, I think that one of them, I can't remember whether it's the black or the white one, but one of the bishops is considered to be more valuable than the other one because of what color it's on. I seem to remember somebody in a stream that I was watching. Oh, you were just giving Kyoko's process shit. Okay, I see. Yeah, got it. Admittedly, I'm very surprised that we technically still don't know what Kyoko is the ultimate of, and I remember this from my previous playthrough, I swear. So I don't know why I don't have that information currently. Okay, so now Sakura's body. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body. Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Look, okay, maybe Makoto has ADHD, okay? Let him process. Yeah, like I said, I'm 99.9% sure I know what Kyoko is the ultimate of, and let's just say that jacket is definitely giving vibes for it, if you catch my drift. But I don't, like, just needs like a hat and some mist and maybe a lamppost sort of thing. But it hasn't come up in the game, and I'm very, very shocked because I'm sure I remember it. Yeah, well, I know, but don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? You see what you're saying, Ultimate Flasher? I mean, it's a pretty short jacket for that. Makoto is trying to enter his mind palace. Stop interrupting Kyoko. Yeah. Just every time she says something, he just gotta reset and start again from the beginning. There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. She wouldn't be flashing the same thing. The jacket works, true. Yeah. Speaking of touching dead bodies, I'm so tempted at some point to pick up, maybe for Halloween, to pick up Mortuary Assistant, because it's such a good game, but I've watched that game be streamed like so much, and so I don't know if it would actually be fun to play, because I know all the secrets, I know where everything, like, you know? It's such a good game, and it would be so thematically good for Halloween. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still some times. Speaking of touching dead body, look, like we love an awkward segue here, okay? Although there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
So,
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
それは
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. Kyoko, phrasing. What? Sorry, never mind.
ね
More importantly, look here. Her shoes.
そう
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
なるほどね
That powder's clue number 1. So it seems like they're insinuating that possibly Sakura was the one that her footprints were the ones in the powder in the chem lab. But the thing that is kind of shocking to me is that by that insinuation, are they saying that Sakura has smaller feet than Makoto? I cannot imagine that. She is a big woman. She needs big feet in order to keep her balanced. Yellow powder has been added to the truth bullet section. Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
そうね
Actually, even telling you that, it's just incredibly difficult to spot. And so let me just explain.
どうやら
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. So again, there goes my theory of the glass shards are actually 2 bottles worth. So where is the last Monokuma figure then? 2 blows.
ええ
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
そう
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
そうね
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Kyoko's examination summary has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I can't believe she was able to learn all of that just by looking at her body. Guess what? It is almost 11 o'clock, so we're gonna start paranoidly saving. There. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Oh, no, not at all, but the face wouldn't absorb all of the hit. True, true. Is that the end of the investigation?
おっと寝てた寝てた。お
Oop.
前らの捜査が退屈すぎて寝ちゃってたよ。
Oops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay awake.
やっちゃうよ。いいっすか？やっちゃってもいいっすか？
Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Can I?
じゃあ、学級裁判を始めます。
Okay,
お
then.
前らはいつもの場所に至急集合してください。
Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? This is such a short investigation phase because, like, we've been chatting quite a bit, and it was so short compared to the previous one. There was just so much setup with that one.
学校エリア1階にある赤い扉にお入りください。
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
うぷぷ。じゃあ、後でね。
See you soon. It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Anyone to talk to before we get in there? Doesn't look like it. God, there's so few. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery. What the? Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Yeah, be careful with that, Monokuma, because emoticons are addictive, and you will be an asshole like me who just doesn't feel right not including them with sentences sometimes. Like, it's so hard sometimes writing a business email and being like, nope, I can't include an emoji, I can't include an emoticon. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy.
Yeah.
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative. Yeah, hoisted by your own petard. Exactly. For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad. Now then, please get on the elevator. I do like the look askance one there too. I'll see you all down there. I don't know how to vocally express this. What the hell was that? I do really like the flip the table one too. That one is, and also gently replacing the table. And for people who were back on Reddit in the day, the Reddit face of disapproval is just so handy. It's so good. I don't get it. And I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone? I don't think I'm acting casual. I mean, I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare, I mean, Toko. How dare you call me a murderer? Toko, you are a murderer. I don't care if it's genocide Jill. You share the same body, you are still guilty. Okay? Like, the laws don't make exceptions for that as far as I am aware. Okay? I mean, admittedly, you might go to like a psychiatric facility rather than a jail, but still. Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us? Yeah, Makoto, you got it. Like, you've been through this, like, 3 times before. You know how it works. I said it before and I'll say it again. It wasn't me. The culprit is one of us. Make no mistake about that. Because I didn't do it. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm still holding my line. How can you just stand there and say you didn't do it without even breaking a sweat?
ね
Standing around here isn't going to do any good. Let's get going. I don't think it's worth talking to these. Like, it'd be pretty devilish if there was, like, Monokuma coins in here to pick up. Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way towards the elevator. But with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. I need to remember that for the next time. It's like, hey, do you guys want to take the stairs to the steel prison? We watched the doors close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower. And as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely. You see that? Like, it's not your fault that we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely? Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened on the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Yes, we want to save the data. Do we have any new ones? Oh, yes, we do. Vocabulary. Increases bullet capacity, effective during the bullet time battle. Yeah, I think we have everything possible equipped. Yes. I don't really think that there's much to go through for the truth bullets. Let's begin with a... Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the result. We've seen this before. We're just gonna skip through this. Now then, where to begin? Yeah, we've been here. We already know who did it. Thank you, Monokuma, for the one good thing that Monokuma has ever done. Calling Aoi out on the fact that she is always like this. So I just scooching around in my seat a little bit. There we go. The one who killed Sakura. It's one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you. Idiot. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Aoi, please. Yeah, I'd never kill someone. No way. Hina seems really sure that one of those 3 is the killer. But she must have had some reason for believing that. Aoi's account. It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura. And what reason do you have for saying so? Because you all had a motive. You hated her. Is that it? That doesn't make any sense. That's the only reason you have for accusing us? That's low. That's about as low as you can get. Some concrete reason why Hina suspects those three specifically. So Aoi's account... Sakura had written notes to Tokobyakuya and Yasuhiro asking them to meet her in the rec room by noon. Like, I feel like that's a lot more important than the fact that they hated her. You know, she had talked to them. She had a reason for this. I wasn't hated her. Fuck. Okay, we're gonna aim for down here more. Ah! I must have just missed it. Okay, this is a little bit of frustrating bullshit. We're gonna have to get rid of the purple text. Like, there. Another reason you suspected them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right? Yeah, and it was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her. I can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all three of them. Then does that mean one of them did it? Oh, we dial it down. You're beginning to rival AM in terms of hate. AM? The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them. There's no way that that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty. I don't doubt or deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her. I didn't either. Yeah, same. I never saw her. Oh, the antagonist, if I have no mouth and I must scream. I've never seen that. It's a movie, right? Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It's an audiobook, actually. Okay. I thought that's who you meant. Yeah. It was white with red polka dot. What's that got to do with anything? And a game? Okay. Yes, Hiro, you can just say no. Red polka dots. That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura. Don't let Makoto bully you. No, it's ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. Yeah, you still have the wrapper. He has no evidence. True, true. Allied Master Computer, or AM for short, wipes out all but 5 humans and puts them through so much torment, keeping them alive through it all. Ooh, terrible. Yeah, it definitely, there's something else that it's reminding me of, but I can't remember what. All because of hate? No. Yeah, too much hate in the world. We need more understanding and compassion and love.
それと同じものはもう倉庫にも残ってないはずだよ。
There's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
だとしたら葉隠君はその飴をどこで手に入れたの？
See, in that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
さくらちゃんからだ。それしかないよ。
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
そのオーガからもらったのは確かだけど
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, I got it from her, but...
だけどもらったのはずいぶん前なんだ。だから事件とは関係ないんだって。
But she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her. But didn't Aoi just give that to Sakura today? So how did she give it to you forever ago? Oh, Aerosmith made Janie's gotta go. Interesting.
いつもらったの？
When? When did she give it to you?
葉隠君が大神さんと最後に会ったのって朝比奈さんを保健室に連れて行った時だよね。
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
つまりあの時より前にもらったってことだべ。
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then. Entirely different song content, yeah. But what Hiro said can't be right, because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know that is that it's when Sakura got that candy.
これだ。葉隠君、それはおかしいよ。
I'm not so sure about that, Hiro.
朝比奈さんが大神さんに飴をあげたのは保健室から出た後だったんだ。
Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy until after she left the nurse's office.
保健室で会ったのが最後なら葉隠君がその飴をもらってるはずがないんだよ。
So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy. Fun little Japanese lesson for people. The word candy, which you're going to hear over and over again here, is ame.
あれま。
Damn it!
それはその
What I meant was...
あったさ。娯楽室でオーガと会ったさ。それの何が悪いんだって？
Oh, that's right. I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that? I mean, a little bit, because you hit it.
逆ギレ。
Why the sudden hostility? You know, put your jersey on the rafters. You're really bad at this. That is an expression that I have not heard before.
だけど会っただけだべ。俺は何にもしてねえって。お願い信じて。
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything. You gotta believe me. You're acting incredibly suspicious.
怪しいのはおめえの方だべ。
You're acting you're acting incredibly suspicious. Yeah, I'm always the person where someone's like, that's silly, and I'm like, you're silly. And like, that's weird. You're weird. Occasionally it comes back to bite me in the ass where someone will be like, you know, that's stupid. You're stupid. Oh wait, no. Like there's been a couple of times where I just do that out of reflex. I'm like, ooh, that's like very harsh. I didn't actually intend for that. Don't you know that lying gets you haunted by ghosts? Is that why I have all those ghosts around me? I know I am a ghost. I am also haunted by ghosts. It's just ghosts all the way down.
また逆ギレ。
More hostility.
ただの逆ギレじゃねえぞ。犯人は深ワッチなんだ。その証拠だってあるんだからな。
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
はあ？証拠って何のこと？
Proof? What are you talking about?
シャイニングメッセージだべ。
That's a dying message. Yes, you know, you got the term slightly off there. Yeah, 100%. We're here hanging out because because you guys are all liars. That's why. I'm talking about her shining message. What does shining message even be?
現場に深ワって血文字があってろ。
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? I mean, really anyone could have written that. Like, I would be more concerned about how she managed to get that. Like, she's obviously bleeding in order for that to be written, but, like, there's no blood trail between the chair and the magazine rack. Yeah. Shining, burning fingers! Definitely sounds like it could be some sort of KOF move.
そうだ、ダイイングメッセージだべ。マイザノッチの時にもそんなこと言ってたじゃねえか。
It was her dying message, just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka. It's already working
それ
then.
って私も見た。
Actively trying to automod in that one as well. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure if somebody posted a spoiler. Trying to avoid? Okay, thank you. That's true, I saw it for myself.
そうだろそうだろ。犯人は深ワッチなんだべ。
See? See? Toko did it.
何言ってんのよ。そんなわけないじゃない。
What are you saying? No way. I didn't do it.
往生際が悪いぞ。
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
葉隠君、ちょっと待って。
Hiro, hold on.
あなたがそのダイイングメッセージを見つけたのは。
When did... Good point, Kyoko. Yasuhiro was not in the room when Kyoko kind of relayed that discovery to me and I looked at it. Yasuhiro had left the scene of the crime and had not come back. So how did he know it was written in there? Yeah, when did you see that dying message of hers? Huh?
確かオーガの死体を発見した時だべ。
Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh. I'm not sure. Like, you know, Japanese... I find that, at least in a lot of Japanese media, there's a lot of English loanwords being used partially just for, like, trendiness or coolness. And there is definitely times when there's a word, like, for example, the word lion. You might learn, like, lion is, like, Ryan. Like, lion with a Japanese accent. But there is also the word shishi. Like, they're... Same with, oh, God... I believe that eventually Duolingo started showing me like kitchen for the word kitchen, but there's also daidokoro. Like there are sometimes both in usage, I guess. Haven't we had 3 cases that have attempted this with only one of them actually being relevant? Possibly. I only remember the dying message in the first one. I really only remember it in the first one, I guess.
そうだったわね。あなたは朝比奈さんから現場の捜査を禁止されていたのね。
Nuclear war is weird. I mean, that's one description for it. But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime.
つまり、ダイイングメッセージを見つけたなら、死体を発見した時しかないはずよね。
So it's hard to believe that that's when you actually saw the message for yourself. Oh, yeah, Byakuya's fake message in the second one, that's true. The blood on the wall. I should check Dirty Pair because that dying message phrase comes up in one of the cases. That would be interesting to see if there's a different term that they're using or if they're using the English phrase for it. Oh, but hold on. When Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message in it, it was on the magazine shelf.
これだ。あの雑誌ってキリギリさんが見つけた時は雑誌棚の中にあったんだよね。
Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
そうよ。私があの雑誌を雑誌棚から取り出して、そこでダイイングメッセージを見つけたのよ。
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it.
現場での捜査が始まった後でね。
I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
だとすると、さっきの葉隠君の発言っておかしいよね。
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
おかしい?
Doesn't make sense?
何がおかしいんだべ。何もおかしくねえっての。
What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense. The one who did it is you, Princess Piggles. There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts with what Chihiro told us. Okay, the magazine dying message. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered. And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. And when I pulled it out, I saw her final words. What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. He said he saw the dying message when he first found the body. But at that time, where was the magazine? We're gonna take a quick look at the magazine. On the magazine shelf, one magazine had been put back upside down. Inside the magazine, Toko's name had been written in blood. To assume that whoever wrote it used their finger to do so. Like, it doesn't have anything about where it was. A bloodstain was found in front of the shelf of magazines. The blood is presumed to be Sakura's. There's currently no explanation for how bloodstain would have appeared so far away from where the victim was found. I'm actually not sure this one here. Oh, fuck. I pressed the wrong button and was too late. Nope, that's not right. It might be a Schlurp. Ogre's body was discovered. The investigation had begun. Magazine like, I hate the Schlurps. I find that it's just so hard to understand exactly what they're trying to say. Yeah, trickle of blood on the mouth, poison, splatter of blood away from the body. Yeah, this is lining more with what I was thinking. My confusion, though, is why she would write Toko in there. Because I definitely get the fact that, like, we have evidence that she vomited blood. There's blood in front of the magazine rack. It seems like, you know, she was over there, possibly. But why? I think that maybe somebody else wrote Toko with her blood in the magazine. So Schlurp is where it's the term that we're using for one of the mechanics in this game, where instead of firing the bullet that you have, like the evidence that you have loaded into the truth bullet, you can suck up one of the targets and actually use it against a different target. So rather than just using magazine dying message, we can suck up, like, where when Ogre's body was discovered and fire that against something else. I feel like maybe we try a magazine dying message against the magazine rack, and if that doesn't work, then we try slurping. We are probably gonna die. I find that this is not a very clear one. No, okay. No, not that. Fuck. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm willing for any backseating if you guys have any idea for this. Shit. I just don't see how these... I just don't see how these interact. Like, I don't see the connection that they're trying to make between them. Like, I don't see a contradiction with them Although I think I know what they're trying to get to. Slurp 3, shoot 1 is your guess? We're going to... We'll try Slurp 3, shoot 1, see if we can do that. Oh, wrong button. Before the ad break.
俺がダイイングメッセージオーガの死体を
私がダイイング操作が始まった雑誌棚の中から雑誌を取り出した
Okay.
そこでダイイング
俺がなんもおかしくねえって
Get back around to 1.
俺がダイイングメッセ
So
ージ
we are trying to... We're in a class trial right now. We are trying to figure out which piece of evidence to use against what other piece of evidence. So we've sucked up magazine shelf, and we're going to try to use it against the first one.
俺がダイイングメッセージを見つけたのはオーガの死体を発見した時
Okay,
だ
where
べ
do we want it? We want it to be there. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Enjoy your food with danger. Thank you again so much for the raid, and enjoy your lurk.
俺がダイイングメッセージを見つけたのはオーガの死体を発見した時
There. Okay, you were 100% right, Archfey. Thank you.
大神さんの死体が発見された時、あの雑誌はまだ雑誌棚の中にあったんだ。
When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. And I forgot to say for... God, I'm so bad at raids. Anybody who's not following with Danger, go check him out. Fantastic guy, interesting games that he's playing. Go give him a follow if you're not following him already. I know what I'm doing. When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby.
ギリギリさんがそれを取り出したのは捜査が始まった後のことなんだよ。
That's where Kyoko found it after we'd begun the investigation. Oh yes, thank you so much, Ghostbody, for the reminder for that. I do ask for some help with backseating sometimes if I'm getting a little stuck in the weeds for some of the I can't remember what it's called, the sequence that we just went through there. But for plot-wise sort of stuff, please try to keep it to yourself if you know kind of what's going on. I'm either a genius or a dumbass. There is no in-between. I know that feeling. Yep. Yeah.
つまり捜査の時に現場にいなかった葉隠君がダイイングメッセージを見たはずがないんだ。
And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then.
葉隠君、本当のこと教えてよ。君はあのダイイングメッセージをいつ見たの？
Tell us the truth, hero. When did you see the message?
待て話をすり替えんなって俺がいつ見たかは問題じゃねえはずだ
Hold on. You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it?
オーガが残したバイキングソーセージによると犯人は深ワッチで間違いねえはずだべ
Now, all you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us and know who the killer is. Toko. Again, the term, Kiro, is dying message, not Vienna sausage. Yes, anything from before Sakura's class trial is fair game to chat about.
なんかどっちから突っ込むべきかわからなくなってきた
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
それがあいつの手なのよ
He's just trying to confuse us. I'm an idiot savant, either idiot or savant, yeah.
そもそもあのダイイングメッセージって本当に
Thank you,
大神さんが書
Kyoko.
いたのか
Thank you.
しら
Actually, can we even be sure that Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
はい
Yeah. I love how somebody basically, after the first class trial, was like, oh, everybody just believed this dying message as fact and just went off of it, so I can totally fake this, and they're just gonna roll with it.
そんなん決まってんべ間違いなくオーガが書いたもんだべ
I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message.
100% 絶対的にオーガが書いたんだこの俺が言うんだから間違いねえって
100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true. Without a doubt. No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. Yasuo has no original thoughts, I swear. Oh shit, okay, rhythm game time. Oh god, okay. We need to figure out what button it is. It's been a minute. Okay. So we press A to match the rhythm. That will lock onto the statements. Y to clear the statements. We have to do X every now and then to reload the bullets. Fuck. I was really bad at this once they added in the reload mechanic. Okay.
俺の占いは3割当たる。オカルトは信じねえんだ。役立たずだべ。俺の占いは3割当たる。オカルトは信じねえんだ。世紀末だべ。証拠あんのかって。俺の占いは3割当たる。オカルトは信じねえんだ。役立たずだべ。証拠あんのかって。
これで証明するよ。
Okay, that went better than I expected. I feel like I got the reload mechanic down now. I think I only got hit with
大神さん
one.
があのダイイングメッセージを書いたとは考えられないよ。
I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message.
だってあのダイイングメッセージって指で書かれたみたいだ
Oh,
ったから
right. Her hands were clean. There was no blood on her anywhere other than right by her mouth. If you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger, but
でも彼女の死体は両手とも綺麗なままだった。
both of her hands were completely free of blood. 30% of the time, he's right all the time. Say what?
じゃあそのダイイングメッセージって誰が書いたの？
Then who did write it?
ひょっとして葉隠くんが捏造したものだったりして。
Hiro could very well have written it himself. Okay, that emote is so cute. That is adorable.
だからこそ彼はダイイングメッセージの存在を知っていたとか。
That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
はい、そうなんです。
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
あ、認めた。
He admits it.
やっぱりそうだったのね。
I figured as much.
でもどうして捏造なんか。
But why would you write something like that? Thank God we can still save.
それはその
Because
俺がオーガを殺しちまったからだ。
because I killed her. You know right now that Yasuhiro did not kill her. You know? But he didn't kill her because this makes sense. Yeah. Like, I have a feeling that Yasuhiro didn't do it, but something has happened here where maybe she died while he was in the room and he misunderstood the series of events. You're admitting to killing her?
聞いてくれるか。俺の最後の話を。
But just let me explain what happened.
オーガからの呼び出しのメモを受け取った俺は約束通り昼前に娯楽室に向かったんだ。
I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
のこのこ会いに行ったのか？バカなやつめ。
You did exactly as the note asked. What a fool.
そん時のことだべ。
And when I got there... Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Oh, okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure. Thanks.
だけどそれを最後にオーガは口を開かなくなった。しんどい沈黙だったべ。
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence.
その時だった。急にオーガが何かをつぶやいたんだ。
Suddenly, I heard her mutter something. This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
それを聞いた瞬間、なんかひらめいちまったんだ。オーガは俺を殺す気だって。
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was going to try to kill me.
俺を殺して、ここから出ていく気なんだって。
She was going to kill me and make her escape.
俺はビビっちまって、そんで。
So, of course, I freaked out, and then...
隙を見て、近くの棚にあったモノクマボトルで、オーガに殴りかかっちまったんだ。
I saw my only chance. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head.
オーガの背後から不意の一撃を食らわしちまったんだべ。
I hit her from behind before she had any idea of what was happening. It's not very nice, Hiro.
そうしたらオーガはぐったりしてそのまま動かなくなっちまった。
Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Yeah, that doesn't sound like I'm gonna kill you, but I guess with the stress of everything, that would read differently. 100%, you know? Like, they're very on edge, and the fact that they all are viewing her as a traitor right now as well, like, I don't think I would have made that same decision, but it's really hard to say when you're not in that situation, right?
俺はそこで我に返ってこのままじゃ処刑されちまうと思って。
Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed.
テーブルの上にあった雑誌に「不可は」って血文字を残してポンずらしたんだ。
So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table, and I ran away. I mean, if I was Toko, I would... like, Hiro, you are on my shit list now. You're gonna try to blame me for this? You're gonna try to throw me under the bus for a murder? I don't think I would have done what Hagakure Yasuhiro did. Yeah. I think that most of us can probably say that we wouldn't do anything that he did. But just in general, like, trying to put yourself in the mind of, like, the death game and the decisions that the characters are making. You know, like, it's hard to say if you would take that as a threat when you're antsy and with somebody that you think is a traitor. I can't believe you. You're the worst. I hope you die.
これが今回の事件の全貌だべ。あとは煮るなり焼くなり好きにしてくれ。
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, mash me, stick me in a stew. Do whatever you want.
煮たり焼いたりなんかしないよ。
You're not gonna get off that easy.
処刑だよ。さくらちゃんを殺したあんたは処刑だよ。
It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura.
じゃあもう投票でいいよね。犯人も決まったんだしさ。
We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it. Aoi, slow your fucking roll. You are always the one pushing to vote. Piece your pecs, Hiro. That wouldn't have done it. Exactly. Especially since there's 2 bottles missing, right? Like...
いいえ、ハガクレ君の話はまだ終わっていないはずよ。
Yeah, you're antsy, she's a traitor, I mean, her, right? Especially if you think that, if you legitimately think that, well, you know that she's a traitor. If you legitimately think that she has not amended her ways, she's very physically, like, intimidating. So, yeah, like, doing... I don't really blame him for freaking out.
終わってないって。
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
今のハガクレ君の話だけでは説明のつかない彼の行動があったはず。
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain.
その説明を聞かない限りはまだ終われないわ。
And until we figure that part out, we can't consider this case closed. So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What would he have to do after writing the message? Yeah, why was the magazine hidden? If he wanted everyone to know that it was Toko, like, why would he have hidden the magazine?
これだ。そういえばさっきの話にはハガクレ君が雑誌を隠したことの説明がなかったよね。
That's true. Everything you just said, it doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? Huh?
死体が発見された時、ダイイングメッセージが書かれた雑誌は雑誌棚に戻されてたけどさ。
Now I'm just imagining him smashing the bottle over her head. Don't take the beef out of my all beef burger. What? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf.
どうしてわざわざ見つかりにくい雑誌棚に戻したの？それじゃ捏造の意味なんてないのに。
Why would you take the time to write that message and then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
いや、というかだな。
Oh, well,
俺は隠してなんかねえぞ。ちゃんとテーブルの上に置いといたはずだけど。
I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table. Really?
嘘よ。嘘に決まってるわ。
He's lying. He's gotta be lying. I'm starting to wonder if this is a case where there is no real murderer. Where every person had actions that contributed to this, like maybe a second person hit Sakura with the bottle as well. You know, like like I said before, maybe the candy ingredient interacting poorly with the chemical that, you know, every person is going to have a different step here that led to this death. It's much more kind of like Final Destination-y, Rube Goldberg-y, where there's not one single murderer. Which will be interesting. It could end up being that, you know, the final thing that killed her was by Sakura's own hand. And so she, as we were theorizing earlier, that maybe she is the murderer of herself by accident, you know? Interesting. Oh, right, the burger. You don't remember the story about when the burger he was eating got abducted? You realized it wasn't all beef? Yeah, I remember now. He just says such wild shit. It's hard to keep track of it. He's lying. He's gotta be lying.
すでに犯行を自白しているのに、今さら嘘をつくとは思えないのか?
I don't see any reason he would lie now after already confessing to the crime.
嘘じゃないってこと？
Then he's not lying?
だとすると、葉隠れ以外の誰かがあの雑誌を雑誌棚に戻したということになるな。
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf.
つまり、事件前後に娯楽室を訪れた人物が他にもいたということか。
In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
おそらく、その考えで間違いないはずよ。
I don't think there's any question about that.
それって誰なの？
Then who was it?
その人物があの雑誌を隠したんだとすると。
If they went through the trouble of hiding the magazine, to me that reads as Toko. Although I don't know why she wouldn't just take the magazine out of the room. Unless she was just worried about getting spotted and she wanted to do something a little bit like less noticeable.
それはあのダイイングメッセージを見られると困る人物だったはず。
Yeah, they must not have liked what was written on it. Someone who wouldn't like what had been written. That would be Toko.
深川さんだよね。
It had to be Toko, right? What?
だってダイイングメッセージを見られて困る人って実際に名前を書かれた深川さん以外に考えられないよ。
Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written in it?
そうなの？あんたも娯楽室に行ったの？
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
なんで私が？
Why would I have? Gonna get a quick save in.
いえ、そうじゃなくて。
Wait, but more important.
そんなことはどうでもいいじゃない。犯人はもう決まったんでしょ？
That doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right?
さっき葉隠れだってそう認めてたじゃない。
Hiro just admitted that he did it.
そうです、俺がやりました。
That's right. I killed her.
いや違うよ。
No, you didn't.
なんであんたが答えるのよ。
Who asked you?
葉隠れ君が
Saving after every dialogue
は確かだよ。でも事件はそれで終わりじゃなかったんだ。
No, it's more of just like trying to make sure that I don't have to redo some of this once the stream ends. I don't doubt that Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle, but that's not where this case ends.
終わりじゃなかったってどういう意味？
What do you mean?
つまり葉隠れ君は犯人じゃない。
What
そ
do
う
you,
いう意味よ。
what he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
何言ってんのよ。そんなことありえないわよ。
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
だったらもう一度葉隠れ君にさっきの話をしてもらいましょうか。
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time.
そうすればはっきりするはずよ。彼が犯人じゃないってことが。
If we go through it once more, it should become clear that he's not Sakura's killer.
それで俺はどうすれば？
So, what do you want me to do?
今言った通りよ。 もう一度大神さんを殴打した時のことを話して。
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
なんかわからんけど、わかったべ。
I don't really see why, but okay. We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that. Yeah, surely Sakura wouldn't go down from just one hit to the noggin. Sure, the back's a weak point, but still, 100%. Oh, fuck. Okay, yellow powder, Kyoko's examination summary, and the status of Sakura's body. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the nearby shelf, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
不意の一撃ってことは
You hit her from
あ
behind,
なたが殴打した
and you only hit her once, is that right? Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
ほら決まりじゃない。
See, isn't it obvious?
やっぱり
Hiro really is the killer. Okay, we're gonna take a moment to take a look at the evidence there that we were presented with. Hell yeah, I hit that from behind. Terrible. So status of Sakura's body was one of them. She was found dead, seated in a chair, slumping forward. Traces of blood around her mouth from when she vomited blood. No injury or indication of why she would have vomited blood. I'm not sure what the other ones were. Yellow powder was one. Yellow powder was found on the instep of Sakura's foot. I'm not sure what the last one was. There's something that proves that. The wounds on her head. So what was it? Yellow powder. Kyoko's examination summary. That was the other one. There we go. Sakura suffered 2 blows to the head, not 1. No blood was found on either of her hands. So I feel like this is the correct one, because the 2 blows is definitely the important part here. Hit Ogre from behind. You only hit her once, right? There we go. Managed to scooch around it.
Hagakure君の殴打のせいで大神さんが死んだなら、彼女の頭の傷が2つだったことの説明がつかないよ。
If Sakura died from a Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds. Huh? 2?
そう。彼女の頭部の傷は2つだったのよ。
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
死体を触るのが趣味の女が言うんだ。間違いないんだろう。
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
でも、俺が殴ったのは1回なのに、どうして頭の傷が2つあるんだ?
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
実は殴打が2回あったってことよ。しかもモノクマボトルによる殴打がね。
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a monokuma bottle.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。頭の傷だけでどうしてそこまでわかるの?
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? Because we know that there's double the glass.
それもモノクマボトルによる殴打なんて。
She was attacked twice with 2 monokuma bottles. Okay, we're gonna save again. Again, just for good measure. So, unfortunately, it is the end of streams.